It's been a year since my trip to Cuba last July, and I had everything planned for a return visit this July. I haven't seen my family for a year, only from a distance really, and I can go to Cuba because I have my residency, but for several reasons I've changed my mind, and today I want to tell you about them. And I also have a huge feeling of guilt for making this decision. Many of us experience guilt when returning to our home country, feeling happy and moving forward, but always wondering if we're doing enough to help. Or why do I have this feeling of not wanting to go back, not wanting to go? Well, here I am getting ready for my morning routine. To begin recording this video for you, I'm meticulously considering what I want to convey to avoid any misunderstandings. I'm doing my hair after taking a shower. I skipped the gym today because I wasn't in the mood. Let's begin. Hi, I'm Anita Mateo, a Cuban living in Galicia, Spain. Subscribe, like, and all that stuff. I've been I'm not being very consistent, and the key to doing well on YouTube is to be very consistent, and I haven't been. As mentioned in previous videos, I was working on multiple projects with Televisión de Galicia, but now in the summer we're taking a break, so I'll have much more time for YouTube. Well, today we're going to talk about a topic that I've been asked about a lot on social media, and that's whether I'm not going to Cuba this year. It might seem like a repetitive topic because I've talked about this here and there, like on other occasions, but isn't it? I've dedicated an entire video to many of the reasons why I don't feel like going to Cuba, and I feel guilty for feeling this way. I think that migrants, people who migrate and leave our families there, we know they're having a hard time, but in the end, we're individuals who also have to follow our own path. Many of our relatives followed their own path. Unfortunately, not all paths are the same, and many stayed in Cuba. But we have the responsibility, at least to ourselves, to build a life, to move forward. And at the same time, this makes us feel guilty. I think it's inevitable, even though it's not our fault. It's not our fault what people in Cuba are going through. It's not my fault, it's the government's fault. But still, every time I eat a delicious plate of food, or I have electricity all day and I hear my family's stories, what are they going through? I feel bad. It's inevitable to feel bad, and what I want most is, to help them as much as I can, but I can't help them. Even if I keep sending them money and doing everything they want, it's not enough. Firstly, it's not right for me to sacrifice my life just to give them one. Secondly, even if I do, it won't solve the problem permanently, because in the end, they live there in Cuba where I live my whole life. In a country with no solution, things won't improve, no matter how much you try to help from afar. Sometimes I even think that the more money you send, in the end, you're just enriching the government. Now, with the internet and all, honestly, I'm not interested in sending top-ups. I feel that if I send a top-up, that's just my opinion. Whoever wants to agree can agree. I prefer sending money for food instead of top-ups, as the latter ends up in the pockets of government officials. Food also ends up in the pockets of the government officials. I don't know. Well, the way I send it, I don't think so. The way I send it, it's with some friends from here in Spain who take the cash directly to my family. Is food more important? But there are still many reasons. Well, and I'm going to start telling you the reasons why I don't want to go to Cuba and the reasons why I feel guilty about this decision. This year, I've had so many work projects. Galicia has opened its doors to me. The first half of this year, from January to June, has been incredible in ways I never imagined. I've been working continuously with Galicia Television on multiple projects. They recently approached me again in July. Well, the television show I was filming is already finished. Now I just have to wait for it to be made, released and all that, which I think will be after the summer. I don't know if they'll call me for another season, honestly. I hope so. And yes, because I really enjoyed living this experience. It was very enriching and very beautiful, and I felt really good. I learned a lot. But well, that's stopped now. What about the Learn Galician project? They also asked me if I could choose a month to take a break. And I said, well, July, so I could go to Cuba to see my family. Exactly. Last year in July, on June 20th, it's already been a year, I went to Cuba for the last time. It's been a year since I went to Cuba, and I don't know why. I planned to go to Cuba in July, but I've decided not to go. I feel really bad about it. But I don't know, it's just that I don't feel like going. I want to keep making progress on many things here. Going to Cuba would require putting those things on hold. I feel it's not the right time for me to return to Cuba for various reasons, including the significant expense involved. I was looking at what I spent last year on trips to Cuba, and it was a huge expense. And I have plans and things I want to do here in Spain, which maybe later on, well, I'll tell you about them as I go along. One of my goals is obtaining my driver's license. It requires significant investment and I need to save money for it. I think it's very important. Because I'm thinking about the day my family comes because I have hope and I want to help. Save so my family can visit sometime. Having transportation will solve a lot. To go pick them up at the airport, take them to places so they can get to know them. I don't know, that really excites me. I set a goal to get my license this year. Half the year has passed and I haven't done it due to a lot of work and other commitments. And I said, well, now in this last semester of the year, I'm going to try to do it. And obviously that requires an investment, time. Well, that's it. I know that going to Cuba will be a 15-day trip, but you can't imagine how expensive it is to go there. Between the tickets and what you spend there, because I don't know how you spend there, it's more than visiting a country here or a city in Spain. It's honestly unbelievable. Things are extremely expensive. Many factors can make you feel disappointed and not want to go, even if your family is there. Look, I miss them so much, and I've already talked about this video with my mom. My mom is kind of like she already knows. She told me, no, don't worry. If you can't come, it's okay. You might think this will make your family feel a little sad when they watch the video. I've discussed this with them and they're aware of all my plans. I also need to look out for myself and move forward. Another reason is that it really hurts me to see how Cuba is. It hurts me so much. And I already suffer from here, but when I go there, I suffer too. Because I see people skinnier, I see people sad. It's like you say, no, a lot of people say, I'm going to recharge my energy with my loved ones, hug them, but sometimes you see how they are. They're so worried all the time and so sad that it rubs off on you, and you feel that way too. The last time I went, I felt terrible because we were living in a total blackout. There wasn't even any electricity, ever. And I tried not to complain or talk about it because I thought, well, at least I can leave. I have that hope, but they don't. So I don't want to ruin their time here by talking about things like, oh, how bad I feel. No, I try to see everything in a positive way, but it's also true that I felt really bad and very sad. And not for myself. I did it not for myself, but because I saw them and people on the street without hope. Sad, downcast, skinny. It's very sad. Honestly, I don't know. I just don't know how to explain this feeling. I came here to do my shopping at Lidl. This is one of those moments when I also feel really sad. I truly wish from the bottom of my heart, you have no idea how much I want this, that when my family arrives, they come to do some shopping and I can record it, to see their reaction. I felt overjoyed to see an abundance of food upon my arrival in Spain, for no specific reason. Well, I'm going to buy some bread here and a few other things. It's incredible that everything you need, you can find it here and buy it. But in Cuba, this small luxury honestly doesn't exist. Well, I just got back from shopping, and everything cost me about 50 euros. I bought bread, tomatoes, corn, chicken wings, because tonight I feel like making dinner. It's the next day. I didn't feel like recording more yesterday, so I'm continuing the video today. I got up and went shopping. Eggs. Oh god, I forgot to buy milk. I should have bought milk, and I forgot natural tuna, a bottle of wine. I always have to forget something. Bacon to make a carbonara. I know it's better with pancetta, but I make it with bacon. Toothpaste. Some bananas, 2 tubes of toothpaste so they pile up and I don't have to buy them so often. And I bought this, which is like a mango juice, like a drink from the Indian section at Lidl or something like that, just to try it and see how it is. Eating mangoes is common in my home country, but not where I live now. And well, this purchase was about 50 euros. Things have gone up in price, and I even went to Lidl, which is supposed to be the supermarket with the best prices here. But anyway, let's continue. I'm going to go outside because we're celebrating. From June 19th to 29th, Carvalho, my hometown, has been celebrating. Let's go explore and see how the party is going. I have to go withdraw money from the automated teller machine to pay my rent for next month. I mean, between the 1st and the 5th, I have to pay the rent, so I need to go get the money. Well, let's keep talking about the topic of this video. I'm here at the automated teller machine. Are there still celebrations going on? I mean, is all of this still full of decorations? Now I'm going to show you. This stage is for local bands to perform. Are they setting something up in the town hall square over there? Does that mean the party continues? I thought it was over, but it's not. San Juan has been from the 19th to the 29th. I mean, these people really like to party. This is a very important celebration. Here I am, loaded down with all my shopping. I haven't settled anywhere yet to keep talking with you. It's quiet now, but it gets crowded later. I'm a bit tired, so I don't plan to come today. I don't party much, but people in Spain really love to. There's music, people, little food stands, and well, I'm gonna look for a quiet place where there aren't so many people so I can sit down at the end. Finally, to talk with you all, okay? I found my peaceful spot, free from people. While everyone's at the town festival, I'm in my park, calm, with few others around. I like this. Let's continue our discussion. I can't let go of this purse as it contains the rent money. I can't lose or have it stolen from me. I'm not sure where I left off, as I had some notes written down. Let me check. So I stayed, I think because it hurts me to see how Cuba is. Reasons why I don't want to go back. It really hurts me to see how things are there. I have a hard time when I'm there. I'm currently prioritizing my inner peace, tranquility, and mental well-being in life. You know, that kind of thing. Another reason is because I want to prioritize my loved ones. I don't know if I've already talked about this. If I'm repeating things, well, I'll notice when I'm editing. I want to find a way to bring my family closer. Yes, there is a way to bring my family closer. We applied for the democratic memory law, not my whole family, but some of us. The process is ongoing. I need to have a financial base so that when they arrive, I can help them, at least for the first few months or year. When migrating, people need a lot of support, which I greatly value having received myself. I understand how essential it is to have shelter, food, and stability, which can be very challenging to attain. Job uncertainty leaves you unsure of when your papers will be in order. Upon arrival, there's a lot of uncertainty. Some people succeed while others struggle. So having a safe place to stay. I have to create that for my family when they come, and of course I have to have some savings. I need to have stability to achieve that. Since I frequently travel to Cuba, I'll spend my money there rather than saving it for when they visit me. I think that's more important. Another thing that really scares me is that now, as you already saw, there's this whole internet thing. I think they also do it to censor a lot more. They want to censor content creators much more. To prevent people from speaking out, many new censorship laws have been implemented. Have you seen what's happening with a lot of YouTubers who are going with Luisito Comunica? No, because I think Luisito Comunica was pretty close to maybe someone from the government. In his videos, he didn't show the complete reality due to the topics he discussed and what he presented. He discussed many things, and I sensed someone was watching him from behind. Despite his fear, he was reluctant to take too many risks. But other YouTubers and content creators, such as La Blue Combi and Dalmau from Spain, have faced issues. Because they have shown the real face, the real reality. So obviously, you're always going to be afraid. I have that constant fear, and I had it the first time I went to Cuba, that it could happen to me, even though I try to talk about my day-to-day life, I don't. In Cuba, one must be cautious about their speech. I also try to be careful to avoid any issues happening to me. But I feel they're being much more careful now. People are being separated and questioned at the airport about their purpose, plans, and what they intend to record. I'm afraid that will happen to me. Maybe it won't, because what I want to show actually when I go is my daily life. A day with me, what I eat, the usual things I've always shown. Like my reality and the reality of my home, my family, and maybe a bit of the reality on the street of what people are experiencing. But I still want to do it, but I'll always have that fear. When people see you with a camera in Cuba, they judge you a lot. Despite the current situation, I'm afraid something might happen to me when I return, as there's a lot of fear. I'm also dealing with paperwork here. For instance, I prefer to wait for my Spanish citizenship before traveling, as I believe I'll feel more secure being a citizen of this nation. Me too. It's not the same as being a resident, so I'll also wait a little bit to have my citizenship. I already took it because I passed, I don't know if I told you, I passed the citizenship exam. So now I have to wait, I already took it. I have to wait a few months for them to approve it and do all those procedures. I'm super excited, and well, until I get all that done. I don't really want to move from here because I want to have everything in order. I also feel like life is getting so hard. Now you see bad news every day, and I just want to be calm. I am going to go to my country. I have to go at some point because my family can't come here anyway. Maybe it will even be years, 1 or 2 years, before those who are doing these procedures can come. And I miss them so much. I want to go see them, and yes, I am going to go. I might go this year, but I won't go now, when I planned, in July. I won't go so soon, and I don't really feel like going either. Like, not so strong. And my mom knows it. She even tells me herself, no, you do what you want, don't worry. But I know they really want to see me. For me to go, My sister also had an accident and can't walk. I want to wait until she recovers before I go. Take them out, go to the beach, all the things they can't do in their daily life because they can't do it until I go. But that obviously involves money and time. I've also gotten really used to being alone, to moving forward. I've become very strong and I feel like that's a really good thing. But it's also like I'm losing myself. Watching my nephews grow up, my mother getting older, I don't know. There are so many factors you have to consider. A contradiction in her head. Here I made another purchase. Here in this bag there are some things I bought to send to Cuba. You'll see that in the next video. And here's another small purchase as I forgot to get milk and more at Lidl. Now, the feeling of guilt as an immigrant. Let's talk a little more about that. What do I mean when I talk about this topic?
Number 1.
I will discuss 5 aspects that make me feel very guilty. Being okay while your loved ones are suffering back home. Here I am in Galicia with access to food, transportation, and electricity. They haven't tried these things that are so good, so delicious, or to travel like this so easily. Most Cubans in Cuba don't even know Cuba because traveling is super difficult. In Europe, traveling to another country can often be simple, accessible, and inexpensive. And whenever I do these kinds of things, I feel happy, but then there's always this little feeling inside me in my heart that tells me, like, when I tell my mom about it, she gets happy for me, but I know that, like, oh, I wish, you know? I don't know how to explain it. I know they can't do this. Or my sister, who's at home with her injured foot, who can't even move. And I tell her about the things I'm experiencing, and she gets happy for me. But I know deep down she would like to live these experiences too. It's inevitable for me to feel guilty. Also, the second aspect of immigrant guilt is that guilt of not being able to help as much as I would like. Sometimes the money isn't enough for everything. I have my life here in these countries. I have to pay for a lot of things. You know that I support myself. I pay my rent, my self-employment fees, my taxes, my food, my things. And sometimes the money, I don't have enough to help as much as I would like. That's the reality. That creates a silent pressure that hurts because sometimes I wonder if I'm helping enough. But at the same time, when I send too much money, I say, but I must also prioritize my own needs, as I've sometimes run out of money myself. Number 3, the guilt for not wanting to go back. For all those reasons I mentioned at the beginning that I don't feel like going back, that also makes me feel guilty. Number 4, guilt for moving on with my life. Is it even possible to feel guilty for moving on with your life? You make friends, I celebrate my birthdays, I celebrate my achievements, like my work on television. I feel happy because I feel fulfilled. You realize that life goes on, and sometimes I sometimes have that happiness inside me because of all those things. But then reality always hits you about how things are in Cuba. It's like a cycle, the same thing over and over again. Tell me down below if you also emigrated, if you've also gone through this situation. I wanted to open up to you and share a bit more about what I think about my reality. Let me know if you agree, if you don't, or if you've experienced the same thing. Many people I know have lost interest in visiting Cuba and haven't renewed their passports due to lack of motivation to travel there. Despite everything, they still hold their Cuban identity close to their hearts. They remain proud of their Cuban heritage and origins. They no longer wish to go, having nothing left there or being too greatly disappointed with the current situation. Regardless, you live freely and happily. Yeah, some people have experienced so much trauma that they don't want to return to the sad reality we endured there. That's all for our conversation today. I hope you enjoyed this short video and found it interesting. I always try to open up to you and share my experiences. Subscribe, it's super important. Give it a like and all that stuff, so this channel can keep growing. We're already reaching 500,000 subscribers. I am thrilled and can't believe it. Please subscribe if you haven't yet and help me reach my goal before the year ends, guys. I am sending you all a big kiss and see you next Friday in a new video.